Being self-employed has its pros and cons, and being a W-2 employee has its pros and cons as well. In this video, we're going to talk about being self-employed versus employed, or being an employee of someone else's company. We'll break it down between your personal quality of life, the financial implications of being self-employed versus employee, and I'll share my thoughts at the end of the video as well. Okay, let's get to work. What's up, guys? I'm Kay Scholl. Welcome to another financial awareness video. Personally speaking, I've experienced both being a W-2 employee of someone else's company and the career path of someone that is self-employed as well. I've also worked with thousands of both self-employed and W-2 employee people over the past 8 or 9 years or so as a financial advisor, helping guide people towards their financial independence and their retirement. So that is the perspective of where I'm coming from. Let's talk about your quality of life as both someone that is self-employed and what that looks like if you are an employee. Hold on though, coming closer, I want to share something important with you first. Are you ready? You, and only you, are responsible for your own happiness. Yeah, you are responsible for your own happiness. No matter which career path you choose, or whether you're between careers and picked up some self-employment gigs just to hold you over and get you by, it doesn't matter. Each day you wake up, you get to choose your own attitude. You don't have to drop your kids off at school, you get to drop your kids off at school. You don't have to go do this, or you don't have to go do that, you get to. If you're not happy with where you're at in life, try changing your words and your language from I have to I get to. And if you don't get any other value from this video, then I hope you'll at least remember that. Okay, so your quality of life as someone that is self-employed is pretty awesome, not gonna lie. In a nutshell, you don't have a boss, so there's no one there nagging at you. You have a completely flexible schedule. No one's telling you that you have to be at work by 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. You could come in as late as you want and leave as early as you want. It's a completely flexible schedule. You can create your own working environment. You don't have to be stuck in a cubicle. You can rent or lease some pretty amazing office space out there, and you can create your own environment. Or shoot, you could even work from home possibly. And you get to choose to do the work that you want to do versus the work that somebody else is telling you to do. And because you're the one doing all the work, all of the profit is for you. However, yes, sure, you are your own boss, but that also means that you have nobody there nudging you, holding you accountable to work harder. You have to be self-reliant on your ability to work hard versus being lazy. Also, time management. This is an issue that many people that are self-employed struggle with. Sure, you have a flexible schedule, which means you don't have to be anywhere by a certain time in the morning, or you don't have to leave by a certain time in the afternoon or early evening, but that also means that you have to juggle your time as best as possible, and that also means that your flexible schedule could result with you working late into the evening, or pulling an all-nighter, or working well past 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night just to prepare and get something done. And then also, yes, you can create your own working environment, but if you're self-employed, you're probably going to be working alone quite a bit, as opposed to being an employee of a company where you might be working on a team and be in a much more social environment and having that social connection with coworkers. When you are self-employed and you're doing things completely on your own, you might end up being alone quite often. Some of you really might like that, but for others, that might wear on you a little bit from time to time. And then also, yes, you get to choose to do the work that you want to do, but what if the work that you want to do isn't profitable work, right? You have to make sure that the work that you want to do, that there's some profit baked in there. Otherwise, frankly, you won't be in business for that long. So you have to make sure that what you're passionate about what you love doing, is also a profitable endeavor. And then job security. Yeah, sure, you are your own boss, so there's no one there to fire you, but your job security is found by how busy you are. For example, if you are an HVAC air condition repairman, your job security is found by how busy your calendar is. The more appointments you have as an air condition repair guy in the summertime, the more job security you have. The less appointments you have on your calendar to fix and repair air conditioners, the less job security you have. So you want to make sure that you keep your calendar full, and that's where your job security will come from. And then also too, you're not going to be an expert at everything. You might be a phenomenal air conditioning repair person, but do you know about taxes? Do you know about depreciation? Do you know about buying the right equipment and how that works and writing it off? Do you know about your vehicle deduction options? You might not know exactly everything that it requires to operate every single thing in your business, and you might not be an expert in everything, but you have to do everything. So you have to learn on your own to become at least somewhat of an expert at being a business owner, which means you're not just out there working hard, doing your service, providing your trade, you are also working hard at learning to becoming a better business owner. So you're not going to be an expert at everything that you do. Your quality of life as an employee can be pretty good as well. I know right now in this day and age of 2021, a lot of people are working remotely and working from home. However, you typically have a drive into work to go to a hospital or to go to your office or some sort of commercial office space, which you don't have to pay rent on, by the way, because you're just an employee working for someone else's company. But that drive in is fantastic because it allows you to get mentally ready and mentally prepared for your day. So you can use that drive in to enjoy your time in the car or to listen and learn about something about your career or about maybe your side hustle. So you can manage your time well to where you can mentally get ready for that drive or commute into your work. And then sure, your schedule isn't that flexible. Maybe you're working 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or 9 to 6. And sure, maybe you have a little bit of time that you have to be at work, but that 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 is predictable. You can rely on it. And a lot of people like knowing what is going to happen. A lot of people like knowing things that are predictable. And when things are predictable and your day is done at 5, you're checking out. You're saying, hey, I'm out of here. I am emotionally and physically leaving work at work and I am done. I am out, which from a quality of life standpoint is really actually kind of nice because when you are self-employed, you're never checked out. You're always thinking about your job. You're always thinking about your business or how you can get better or more efficient at some aspect of your business. So as a quality of life benefit, there's some predictability of having an 8 to 5 job and mentally just checking out when your day is done. This next one is a little bit of a double whammy. It could be good, could be bad. If you've got great management, a great boss, a great team, a great leadership team, then that is fantastic. But most people, when they leave a job, they're not really leaving the job because they don't like the company or they're leaving their job because they don't like their coworkers or what their job entails and what they're doing. A lot of people leave because of managers. They leave because of their boss. So that could be a really nice quality of life, but it also could be bad if you don't have a great boss, someone that's annoying and someone that's constantly nagging on you. That could be a negative. And then job security. The harder you work, the more employable you are. So there is a little bit more job security potentially being a W-2 employee. However, we have to recognize that there are some things outside of your control that could impact the profitability of the company or the industry that you might work in for that company. And there are some things that are outside of your control that can impact your job security. However, assuming everything is going well and you're not in a very volatile industry, the harder you work, the more job security you have. And in some cases, the longer you work and the more tenure you build up, the more job security you have as well, which is a really nice quality of life benefit for somebody that is choosing the path of a W-2 employee. What about the financial implications of being self-employed versus being an employee. Let's run through this list right here real quick. You've got your income. Obviously, that is the first thing when it comes to financial and money. It's how do you get paid? So with your salary, when you are a W-2 employee, sure, you might get paid monthly or every week or every other week or maybe twice a month. But regardless of the structure of your compensation, your paycheck is very predictable and you can rely on it. And maybe depending on your industry and your company, maybe you might get some sort of end of the month or end of the quarter bonus if you hit your team's targets or your goals, or maybe you're just a really good hard worker and you get a merit raise or a merit end of the year bonus for how hard you work and how good you work with other people. But when you are self-employed, your income is incredibly irrational. It is irregular. It is unpredictable, and you can't rely on it month in and month out. So you have to exercise a lot of self-discipline when larger chunks of money come in because you closed a deal, or maybe you're a real estate agent and you had multiple closings in 1 month. You can't just run out and spend all that money because you don't know when your next check is going to hit. So you have to really not only just make a budget, but you have to actually live on your budget because you're not really sure when your next paycheck is going to hit, which is going to drive you internally to work really, really hard to make sure you get that next paycheck. Remember a minute ago, I talked about having job security, and the busier your schedule is as someone that's self-employed, the more job security you have, the more income you have coming in. Stay tuned for my next video coming up about how to invest if you're self-employed with an irregular income, because we're going to talk about that in a follow-up video. Also, benefits. When you are a W-2 employed individual and you're an employee of some other company, you have benefits. You have probably a retirement match from some sort of company-sponsored benefit like a 401k or a 403b, where maybe you contribute 4, 5, or 6%, and then maybe your employer matches maybe the first 3%, and then maybe they match a little bit more if you put in 4 or 5%. So there is some sort of financial benefit to working with your employer. When you are self-employed, you have no benefits. You have no paid days off. You have no group health insurance, no group life insurance, no group disability insurance. You have no group coverage because you're working completely on your own. So when it comes to benefits, as someone who is self-employed, you have there is no such thing as a paid day off or paid family sick leave. None of that happens when you are self-employed and in business for yourself, and you have to go find insurance on your own as well. And then what about taxes? When you are a W-2 employee, you barely have to think about taxes because it's taken out automatically from your paycheck because your employer more than likely uses some sort of a third-party payroll company. Now, if you're self-employed, depending on how you structure and file your taxes, you could set that up as well. However, for most people that are self-employed, maybe you're a sole proprietor or you're a 1099 subcontractor, you have to worry about taxes. And not only do you have to worry about taxes, but you have to worry about self-employment taxes. So if you go through my self-employment playlist, there are a ton of videos to help educate you and to help you navigate through your taxes if you are going the route of being someone that is self-employed. So there are some very real differences and changes depending on whether you're going to go the route of someone that is self-employed or somebody that's going to go the route of being an employee of someone else's company. So if you're going to go the self-employed route, make sure that you properly learn and research a lot of these topics by watching videos on my channel, watching other YouTube videos, reading articles. Just do your homework because, like I mentioned a minute ago, you're not going to be an expert at everything if you're going the route of being self-employed. But you can learn through reading articles, watching videos. You can learn quite a bit about how to structure your business and about how to save for your retirement without needing to be a W-2 employee with a predictable income. Okay, so what are my thoughts? Well, I gotta tell you, coming from my perspective of coaching and counseling people through their financial journeys of both many folks that are self-employed and many people that are W-2 employees, plus me personally having experienced both the lifestyle, quality of life, and financial implications as somebody who is an employee working for someone else's business and being self-employed working on my own. I gotta tell you, I think being self-employed by far is a better lifestyle and a better way to go. You have complete control over your schedule. You have control over how hard you work and how much money you make compared to not. And you are the one that is able to get the job done. You have no fingers to blame. If somebody goofs something up, it's all on you, and you rely on other people very, very little. So the harder you work, the more money you more than likely can make. However, it's not for everyone. Being self-employed is incredibly challenging, and it has a lot of both financial constraints, mental and physical constraints as well that we've already discussed in this video. So being self-employed, it's not for everyone. And so after watching this video or after thinking through this on your own, if you think being self-employed and starting a business is the route you want to go, I think you should take the risk, especially if you are younger and you've got time on your side. Take the risk, start your entrepreneurship, start your business, go do something, especially like I said, if you are younger, because if it doesn't work out, you've got your whole life to get re-educated again or to go apply for another job where you more than likely will be a sought-after employee because you used to run your own business. Even if it was a failed business that you operated and ran, somebody would want to hire you for your go-getter attitude. So in my opinion, if you're young and if you've got the financial stability to do this, I think you should take the risk. And then in my opinion, the juice is worth the squeeze. If you are going to work hard at being self-employed and you're going to start up your own shop and you're going to start up your own business or start selling widgets or start providing a service, yes, it will be difficult. Yes, you will question what you want to do. You will wonder if you're making the right decisions, if you're going down the right path. But if you continuously improve, if you continuously get better, just 1% better every single day, and you are constantly working on learning something new about your business, and you're working on your business or you're working in your business, I think the juice is worth the squeeze if you can be profitable, if you can manage your taxes and manage your cash flow well enough. I think being self-employed by far is the best route to go. However, if you are somebody that is already employed as a W-2 employee, do this. Dip your toe in the water. Stay employed. Find something that you're passionate about. Maybe you're not exactly, maybe it's not a profitable business, but find something that you're passionate about, find something that you love to do, and make a side hustle out of it. Whether it's crafting something or making something or selling something online, doesn't matter what it is. Remain employed. Don't leave your regular job because that is what is providing you your quality of life now. But start a side hustle. Start something that you could do on the weekends or at night after your job is done. We spoke earlier about having that commute into your job and that commute home from your job. Use that time to listen to podcasts. Use that time to listen to YouTube videos. Set your phone down and then just listen to the video on your drive in. Do something to surround yourself around getting better and learning something different or more at your side hustle, and be the best version of yourself at your job, because that might get you a bonus. That might get you another third paycheck, like a bonus or quarterly or annual bonus check. To me, I treat those like third paychecks in a month when it's not really that expected. And then you could use that money and invest it into your new side hustle business. So if you are a W-2 employee, dip your toe in the water and start doing something in the evening time frame or on the weekend time frame while being employed, and then build up that business so that when you're ready to take that leap of faith, you've already got some sort of proof of concept, or you've got some sort of predictability coming in with that side hustle income. And then when you put 100% of your effort into the side hustle business that was only getting 20 or 30% of your time, once you put 100% of your time into it, it should flourish and grow. So if I were you and you are a W-2 employee, dip your toe in the water and maybe pursue that self-employment dream of doing something on your own, because in my opinion, the juice is worth the squeeze. Hey, if you are self-employed, here's that video that I mentioned a moment ago, how to invest if you are self-employed and have an irregular or unpredictable income. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate your time. See you in the next one.